Hello, everybody, and welcome to, of course, Docg and John T Presents. We have a great interview today with somebody that I guess is from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, has started out in the doo-wop and has been an amazing, amazing person as far as people looking up to him. I want to welcome Larry Chance from Larry Chance and the Earls.
Oh,
Hi guys,
How are you, Larry? How you doing today?
doing great.
Poor Larry was trying to get on Zoom for us, and what happened was he's just been having a whole hell of a hard time getting in Zoom, putting the meeting a number in, and then doing the password, and it's sometimes it's just more complicated than it is. But Larry, along with that, I want to introduce my co-partner John Phelan, the mayor of Reeltown.
hi, Larry. How are you, Larry? It's great to meet you, sir.
My pleasure.
And I'm sorry about the sound because it's only on my phone.
No, we're working through the phone. We'll take it a little bit old school.
It'll work. It'll work.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
So Larry, tell us a little bit about the Earls, how you got started with music, first of all. How did you get started?
Well, I have always loved music from my days in elementary school, and I sang on the corner in Philadelphia until I was 15. At which point I moved to the Bronx, New York, and I went to Evander Childs High School, and the group was actually formed in the second floor boys' room. And we called the group at that time the Hi-Hatters.
The Hi-Hatters. Okay.
Yes, and our intention was to get hi-hats, tuxes with tails, spats,
Nice.
canes, white gloves, but we had no money. So everyone had a different name of what, every member of the group had a different idea of what the name of the group should be. And I said, look, the only way this will be fair is we open up a dictionary. I'll put my finger on a word. Whatever it lands on, that's what we'll call the group. So I opened it up, put my finger in there, and it came out Earl, nobleman of high rank. I said, that's it, we're the Earls.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we could have been the Ears.
That's so funny. John, do you have any questions for Larry?
I was just going to say, my father there for a while back in, I'm going to say the late 30s, early 40s, lived just off the Grand Concourse there. So, a little semi-kindred spirit.
Well,
Tell us.
I'm very proud to say that if you go down by the courthouse in the Bronx, there's a street sign that Larry Chance and the Earls. Very proud of that.
Oh, very cool.
Recognized by your hometown.
That's
You
very
should
cool,
be
Larry.
proud of it. That's
Very
pretty
cool.
great.
Yeah.
I have to tell you. After you figured out the name, Larry, tell us how stuff began to unfold from there. About what year things started to get going from push to shove, and the early moments.
Well, early when we began, we started singing for all the Coke we could drink and all the pizza we could eat. We worked places
Beautiful.
like the Moose Lodge, the Elks Lodge, and we were singing on the corner, and someone handed me a business card, and it was Trade Martin's number. Trade, of course, had some recording success on his own. And we went down, we met with him. He took us into the studio. And 3 weeks later, we had a record release called Life is But a Dream, which was an up-tempo version of the Harptones hit. And it was our first charted recording. It went as high as #7 in New York, made the national charts, and kind of gave us a name. That was on the Rome record label. That was followed by a song called Looking for My Baby, which had some New York, Philadelphia success.
Nice.
And then we went to Old Town Records. High Weiss, known for his $50 handshake, was the owner of that company. And he loved Remember Then and released it. And we had already shopped it around to all the majors. They all turned it down. But he heard something in it that he liked and released it. And of course, it was our first national hit.
That's outstanding. That is so outstanding. What were some of the other than the, you know, Coke and pizza places like the Moose Lodges and stuff, and I love the Moose Lodges and stuff like that. I really do. And I have a question about pizza in a moment, but what were some of the places that you performed that you liked the most, and how come?
Well, probably Radio City, number one. Radio
Ooh.
City Music Hall.
Yeah.
We had taken, I guess you'd call it a field trip or something,
Yes.
from Philadelphia to New York, and we went to, I don't remember if it was the Easter show or the Christmas show, but I remember sitting in that beautiful Radio City Music Hall, and I looked at that stage, I looked at the performers and said, someday I'm going to be on that stage.
Yeah.
And there was a show called the Royal New York Doo-Wop Show that ran for 2 days at a time. And I was so, I don't know what the word would be, but overjoyed and so happy to finally have this dream come true. The other was when I was a kid, the rage in Philadelphia after school was everyone was tuning into Bandstand.
Yes.
Not American Bandstand. This is when Bob Horn was the local host.
Right.
Local show. Right,
Yep.
right.
And I remember thinking, someday I want to be on that as a performer.
Nice.
And of course, when Dick Clark became the host, we had an opportunity to perform 2 or 3 times on American Bandstand. Another
Wow.
dream come true.
Yeah.
So I've been very lucky in that way.
I tell you,
But I got to
that's
perform at the Polo Grounds and Madison Square Garden,
wow.
Cobo Hall in Detroit, and all these great venues. It's been wonderful.
Oh yeah, it has been, and a lot of people love you too. What do you see today's music? More doo-wop people love doo-wop compared to, you know, in the older days.
It's a unique thing, and it's worldwide. You know, in the last few years, we performed in Germany, Spain, Barcelona. They love it there.
Yeah.
Japan has become a big market for American doo-wop. It's amazing. It's bigger in other areas of the world than it is in America,
That's crazy.
which is shocking. You know?
Well, there's also, from what we understand too, talking to some others in the doo-wop genre, Larry, I also understand that there is a resurgence with some of the younger crowd who this is entirely new for. Is this something you're experiencing as well?
Absolutely. You know, I don't know if it's because the parents and the grandparents are bringing them to the show, or if they're wanting to come on their own. You know, today's music, by definition, isn't really music, because music has a melody.
Yes.
And they call it rap. I call it crap. But you know, every generation has its music, and I'm not putting down what the kids are listening to, but in my mind, I can't picture 50 years from now singing along with Snoop Dogg. I don't know. I just don't.
I tell you
They'll
what.
still be singing 16 Candles, and they'll still be singing In the Still of the Night, Earth Angel.
Yeah.
That's my thought.
Well, you
Those
got to
are-
remember too, Larry. It's not. It's again, everything about music is preference. But I kind of agree with you too. I don't particularly like that music. I don't say that I don't want nobody to hear it, or you know. But that's just my opinion. I grew up with the oldies. I grew up with the doo-wop. I grew up with the country, the classic, the blues, the jazz, everything. So I love all that music. I love doo-wop the most, but I love everything about it. I love the artists, the songs, the creation of the songs. Tell us more about your creation of songs, other than Remember When.
Well, we followed Remember Then with a song called Never, which also made the national charts, and which I had the pleasure of co-writing. And you know, we've recorded all these years, and I've done a solo jazz album. I've done country. Right now, we're working on a salsa tune. I've done a polka. I mean, I've sung in every genre with the exception of opera. I've recorded in all those genres.
That's incredible.
We're speaking with Larry Chance, who is Larry Chance and the Earls, and it's Docg and John T presents. We're glad to have Larry with us. Larry, who were some of the real good folks, the good people in the business, whether it was early on or even nowadays, because we hear it's so easy to go to this guy was no good and this person was unpleasant. I don't want to know about that. I always like to ask who were the good eggs.
Pretty much all of us. There was a difference when I see now with some of these rap artists, they're beating each other up and shooting each other. I don't understand that. In our genre, we were friends. I wanted every act to be great because it made me work harder to entertain. We had that. In other words, you wanted people to leave saying that was a good show. That's why they come back.
Right.
It was never a competition because we each do what we do. My act, as an example, has a lot of audience participation and a lot of comedy. I've always wanted to do comedy, and I had the opportunity to work on a radio show in New York City called I Miss in the Morning.
Right.
Yeah, tell us about that little stunt. Go ahead.
I did characters on that show for 10 years.
Now, which characters did you do? Because I was
the boys who owned the place called the Rib Palace, and him and his guys would sing, and I would do all these song parodies.
Wow.
And then I did a character called Geraldo Santana Banana, who was the general manager in charge of editorial opinion.
He was the vice president, and now vice president, general manager of Iris in the Morning, Geraldo Santana Banana. Mr. Banana, please.
Hello, man. Good morning to Joe. Everything gonna be nice.
Oh, that takes me back, Larry.
Oh my goodness.
It was fun. He really was a pioneer, and it was such a thrill to work with an innovator like Don Imus.
He was funny.
He was crazy, but he certainly was an innovator.
You think when Stern joined him, he kind of slowed him down a little bit because of the Stern's all the other stuff that was going towards Stern?
Well, Stern was a different type of thing.
Yes.
Stern was more of a shock.
Right.
He a lot of what he did was, did you hear what Stern did today? As opposed, I'll give you an example of how crazy we were.
Mm-hmm.
I ran for the presidency of the United States in 1984. Don't laugh. New York Times, the article, I got write-in votes. I really did. Honest to God. And so I can't believe I got write-in votes, but I did.
Larry, I have to tell you, that whole show was one of the reasons why I wanted to get into radio. My friend and I have a very creative, very funny friend, and he and I would, just on our own, emulate the old Imus in the Morning show from like the late 70s, early 80s, emulate those bits, whether it was Geraldo Santana Banana, whether it was Earl C. Watkins, he's my man, the #1 Imus in the Morning fan, whether it was the Right Reverend Dr. Billy Saul Harkis coming to you from Del Rio, Texas.
I don't care if it rains or freezes, as long as I got my plastic Jesus on the dashboard of my car.
Oh, yeah. I can go 100 miles an hour as long as I've got the almighty power glued up there by my pair of fuzzy dice. Beautiful. Oh my goodness, I can't even believe I'm talking to Geraldo Santana Banana.
But I'll give you an example. So we announced my running mate. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to announce to you my running mate, Ray Charles. What we had done, I went to every record shop I could find in Manhattan, bought every Ray Charles album I could find, and took them back to the office. And I said, so Ray, where do we send Jimmy Carter when we get in the office? And he said, Georgia. And so forth. We used pieces of his albums. That was a 2-minute bit that ran 3 times on the show.
Yep.
That's a total of 6 minutes. And we went through all that expense and all that time searching for albums
Yep.
and then trying to get bits, pieces of this one. Here's, and just to show you how much he really cared about that show. Now, Stern was a different type of show. It was shock.
Mhm.
Right.
It was mostly shock value.
It was.
But and then when Don got fired and came back, he became more political.
Oh,
did,
that's kind of what made his career go down the drain then after that. Yeah.
Yeah, he became more political and to a lot of serious interviews, and the comedy was less and less and less. And I think it hurt him. I really do.
Yeah.
Well,
But listen, how hurt do you get making $15 million a year?
tell you what,
I can take that kind of hurt.
please, that was at a time, Larry, when I was in high school, when he was pretty much when that show was pretty much at its zenith. And now knowing that you were one of the key characters, that just now there's so much more that now makes sense to me, about that whole show. It was fun, it was funny, it was goofy, but you could tell that it was well thought out. Somebody spent some time, on Monday putting together the bits for Tuesday's show. It wasn't like they you guys just popped into the studio and let it rip.
We worked hard at making those bits work. I mean, there was a lot of thought. And Charles McCord wrote most of them.
Oh, Charles McCord. Okay.
Yeah, Charles is a brilliant guy,
Yep.
So Larry, where can them things be found today? Are they on YouTube anywhere, or does anybody have copies of them? Because
I wish. I'm hopeful that one day they'll appear, because I'd love to listen to them again.
Oh my God, there was so many shows. How many shows do you think?
Yeah, I had a load of them on cassette, but I had them in my basement, and then I got a flood in the basement.
Oh.
Yeah, we're ruined.
Oh, that's so sad.
Oh, nuts.
But I'm hopeful that someone has some.
Yeah, maybe.
I tell you, it was just I had a deal with my father. He drove me to school, a friend of mine and myself, and my school was about a half an hour away from where we lived. And the deal was, I could have the radio either in the morning or the evening, and whatever I picked, he would do the opposite. So I opted for the morning specifically, Larry, because of the Imus in the Morning program. Because it would be here now on the hideous program. It's Vice President and General Manager Earls and Town of Banana with a little information. Mr. Banana, if you please. And my father couldn't stand it. He was a banker. He was very conservative. He
got up under his skin.
and especially, and I'm just recalling this, especially when the Geraldo Santana Banana bits would come on, he'd just look at me and shake his head. I'm like, what? He goes, he's like, I can't even understand this guy. It's like he's speaking another language. And I'd sit there and howl, and my buddy would be in the back seat, and we would howl. And then when he drove us home, we had to listen to 10-10 wins. Give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world. Night.
It was a wonderful time for me. But as you can see, so I've always liked comedy, and I have a lot of it in my show.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Outstanding. Now, am I to understand, Larry, that you were in Philly when you were growing up? You went to school with Chubby Checker, Frankie Avalon, and Danny Rapp of Danny and the Juniors?
Yeah, and a few other people went there too.
Wow.
People like some of the Turbans who recorded When You Dance, and it was a 7 square block area that had people like Mario Alonso came from there, and David Brenner came from there. I mean, it was just a potpourri of talent. And then I moved to the Bronx, and I'm hanging out with the Belmonts and the Regents, and so
well, you had such a great life. Oh my God.
Yeah.
What a great life you had. I mean, you had the best of both worlds. You had the Philly doo-wop sound and the New York doo-wop sound.
Life was but a dream. How about it?
You know, there was a time when people weren't buying the oldies, and that
Right.
was pretty much with the British invasion.
Yeah.
So I moved to the Catskill Mountains,
Oh,
and I began to work the Concord and the Grow Singers and the Browns and all these famous resorts in the Borscht Belt.
yeah.
And I'm opening for people like Joan Rivers and Howie Mandel and Alan King, the biggest stars in show business. And
Right.
I'm opening it for them.
Wow.
And that was also a great thrill for me to
Boy,
meet and work with those people, you know.
We were going to ask you.
I'm working with the people I'd watch on Ed Sullivan Show.
We were going to ask
Right.
you, out of the people you met, who's the one that, many of them, I'm sure, impressed you, but who's the ones that you had that an amazing memory from meeting them?
Billy Vera.
Billy. Oh yeah, we talked to Billy
We
not long
talked
ago.
to
Remember
Billy
him?
not long ago.
Great guy,
Yeah.
Billy.
Billy is, you know, he's done so much. I mean, he's an author, he's a producer, he's a writer, a songwriter, an author, a historian. He's just done it all. And of course, growing up, one of my idolized groups was the Flamingos.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
And I worked with Terry Johnson, who's an original member every now and then, and just a sweet man.
I'm friends with
And,
Terry. I'm friends with Terry. Also friends with Terry King from the Drifters.
Right, great people,
But
wonderful people.
They love you. They talk about you all the time. I-
Well, I love them too.
It's so mutual. Oh my God, it's amazing.
Oh, yeah. As I told you, there's no competition. We're all buddies. You know, I look forward to seeing them, and they, I hope, look forward to seeing me. We've been friends for years. You know, Billy and I. Billy just came to New York to work at Stepinac High School, which is where he graduated 60 years ago.
Right.
And I called the promoter, who's a friend of mine, Nick, and I said, would you mind if I introduced Billy? And this was Billy's idea. And I was very honored to go out and introduce him. And then as an encore, he had me come out and do Stand By Me with him. And that was another thrill for me, you know, when someone you idolize, and just wonderful.
It's amazing. Did you ever meet Elvis?
No, but one of my hopes that never came through. One of my dreams was to meet Elvis.
I see
But
that
I've worked
there
with
was
just
a-
about everyone else, from Little Richard, Fats Domino, Jerry Lee Lewis.
I see that
know,
you
so
do
many,
have
you know.
a song called Elvis, He's Alive, from about 32 years ago.
Yes,
Tell me
I
about
also
that.
have a country version of it.
Oh,
Where can people get your music at, Larry? You still up on
Amazon, CD Baby, iTunes, all over the place.
outstanding.
They can download it from YouTube and all these places.
well, you can't do that anymore. They stopped that. You can't download anything, and you can record it, but you can't download it like you used to be able to.
Well, you can download, I believe, from Amazon and iTunes. You have to buy the tunes.
Right. I think that's a benefit for you though, too, because you got to understand, if people can download it for free, why would they buy it?
Correct.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
Good, John.
No, when I say you can download them, but you have to pay,
Yeah.
Yeah,
because it does cost us a lot of money to go in and record, and then to mix, and then to master, and then to purchase the CDs. You know, it all takes money. So the only way we can recoup it is if people buy it.
well, now tell us, as far as performing or being busy, what's on the schedule? What's coming up?
The next one is July 17th in Coney Island.
Oh,
And got a date coming up in Philly. Well, people can go to our website, LarryJohnsonEarls.com, and just click on events. And they can also purchase CDs right there, direct from the website, jackets, T-shirts, whatever.
I'm looking at it right now, as a matter of fact, and oh, I like the red jackets, by the way. That's a good look.
Are you
Yeah,
going to come to New Jersey anytime soon?
I'm sure.
we'll keep
Where in
an
New
eye on it.
Jersey are you located?
I'm in the central part, but we may, I don't want to say anything too much, but we
Oh,
may.
I'm that way, often. Again, as I said, check the website, and I'll see you down the road, hopefully.
Yeah. And
Well-
what's your favorite song to sing? Is it Remember Then?
No, it's I believe.
I believe. Yeah. I heard you sing that one too. Yeah.
I
Yes, Larry.
believe because one of the original members joined the armed forces, the 82nd Airborne, and he never returned home.
Oh,
And I wanted to just record it as a tribute to him. It was actually a song that we'd heard by Tony Bennett. I met Tony Bennett. Frankie Lane did the original, I
Frankie
believe.
Lane. Yeah. Yeah. I remember Frankie.
But it didn't have somewhere above there's a heaven, somewhere above there's a star. That's how we introed it, and that's how it ends. And that's dedicated to Larry Palumbo. And we also dedicate it to our fallen heroes, our veterans. And so that's become my favorite song to sing.
Okay. I got
That
some.
And it
makes a
was
lot of
actually
sense.
the B-side of an obscure recording called Don't Forget, which I wrote.
Okay.
But what happened is through the years, as we performed, because I closed every show with it, and it's become, it went as high as #4 on the WCBS FM Top 500.
Oh, nice.
Can you
Nice.
imagine
Yeah.
an old
Wow.
B-side making #4?
Oh, by the way, I just saw Michael Diamore from the Capris the other day, and he said to say hi to you if I interview you. I said, I'm supposed to interview Larry Chance of the Earls. Just tell him I said hi. I said, okay.
Yeah, good guy, great voice.
Amazing guy. But I see your performances, Larry. You said at Coney Island Amphitheater. That's July 17th. You got September 3rd. You're going to be a performance at the Lead East in Parsippany, New Jersey. September 10th, you're going to be a private performance at Poughkeepsie, New York. And December 23rd, you're going to be at the Count Basie Theater in Red Bank.
Yeah, that's central, I think.
Yeah, that's just down the way for me. I'm in the New Brunswick area, and Gino's in the Trenton area, and Red
But
Bank is
sooner or
not far
later-
from each. Yeah,
Sooner or later, guys, I'll be in both areas.
I'm sure
Outstanding.
you will. Now you hang out. You're based in New York, right, Larry? Is that where you live right now?
Yes, I live up in the Catskills.
You live up in the Catskills. Okay, so you do a lot
I
of
work
performing up
here-
there.
I worked here performing so often. I said, you know what? I should just. I bought 7 acres. I built a house on it, and I've been here for the last 40 years.
Wow, 40 years.
Now they're all of them are closed. Sad to say.
Oh, because
Oh, no
But
kidding.
I lived through a great era. You have the greatest stars in the world
right.
working here, and I got to open for so many of them.
wow, what a life. I envy you,
I
Larry.
was
You had
I
such
was
a
going to
great life.
ask if you've got 2 shows daily plus a matinee over the big 3-day holiday weekend. Come early, stay late. You'll be glad you did. Pump the kids full of coffee because we're staying up all night.
John, you really make me laugh.
It's been a wonderful, like people ask me, would you change anything? Not really. I've been very blessed. I really have.
That's
I had throat
fantastic.
cancer right
Oh.
on my vocal cords. And I remember most doctors telling me that it wasn't life-threatening, but I need another vocation, or, I'm sorry to say, you'll be able to speak. I doubt you'll be able to sing.
Oh my.
And I said, I'll be back. And I was just determined. And, again, I'm still working, so I'm very fortunate.
God bless you, brother. You're doing so wonderful.
So,
You're doing so wonderful.
and I did a PBS show, and what happened was I was booked to do, I think it was called 50, whatever it was. And I came out to sing. Jerry Butler introduced me, and I started to sing. I couldn't sing. I said, uh-oh, something's wrong here. And I was very embarrassed, and I walked off stage, came back to New York, went and got checked out, and they found I had lump on my vocal cords.
Mm.
And I was operator on. They shaved it down, and then I got 37 zaps of radiation.
Oh, wow.
And 2 years later, I remember speaking with T.J. Lubinsky, who produces those shows.
Right. I
for
know TJ.
PBS.
Mhm.
And I asked if I could come back on. I said, because I was very embarrassed to work in front of those people. Usually that audience, the people are basically the same crowd.
Right.
So I came out and I said to them, I want to explain what happened and what I've just gone through. And then you can edit it out. But at least I want the audience that's sitting in those seats to know why I had to leave the stage. And TJ said, no, go ahead, we can always edit it out. And I came out and I talked about my bout with throat cancer, and then I sang I Believe. And what's been wonderful about that is he left it in. And
Nice.
so many people have come to me and told me that I was an inspiration to them, that they felt if I could survive cancer right on my vocal cords and still sing, they could, survive. And I still get people, honest to God, Saturday night,
Mhm.
I'm sitting with Billy Vera and a woman came up to me. She goes, I'm a survivor too. And I said, give me a
Wow.
hug.
Oh, you're such a.
And there's a special bond we have with all the people that'll come up to me and tell me that I was an inspiration for them with their cancer. And
You know
it
what?
always puts a tear in my eye.
You know what I like about you, Larry, is and I say this, certain people, not everybody, but you've been so humble over the years. You've never changed. You've always allowed yourself to be the same person. You've always been same good guy, same caring guy, but still loving what you do and appreciating the fans more and more. Don't you agree?
Oh, it's very kind of you to say. I try. As I said, I love entertaining. And the other thing I'm very happy about is that people in my genre, so to speak, the doo-wop people, most came from the street corner. So when they perform, they say, here's a song we did in 1959, or here's a song we recorded in 1958, goes something like this. Or they'll do, here's a song that so-and-so recorded in 90, and then they sing a song. Then I came along and started to do this comedy. So now a lot of the performers in my genre have added comedy to their show. And that makes me happy. Because I want the people to walk out saying, that was a great show.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
I
bottom
always
line.
felt that if all you wanted to hear was my music, you could put on my album.
That's true. But
It's let me entertain you. I can do the music and then make them laugh too.
oh, that's beautiful.
Well, and here again, folks, we're talking with Larry Chance of Larry Chance and the Earls. And the next time you can see him, if you're in the area, and I, as the crow flies, am very near Coney Island. I'm just off of, the Jersey Turnpike here at Exit 9. On Sunday, the 17th of July, Larry Chance and the Earls will be performing at the amphitheater of Coney Island Boardwalk. It's get this, it's a no charge show. I mean, meaning you can go there and not spend a dime to see it. You just to get into the city is all. And it's going to be
I think the Capris are on that show. You mentioned Mike.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
are.
Michael, yeah.
it's going to be it's a 6 o'clock show at the Coney Island Amphitheater there at Coney Island Beach. It's also starring Brooklyn Bridge, the Crystals, Charlie Thomas's Drifters, Bobby Wilson, Jay Siegel's Tokens, The Lion Sleeps Tonight, Don't You Know, and the Capris. So it's a big show. It's a giant show.
What
It's a
a
king
show. I'm
size.
going to be there. I'm telling you, I'm going to go see that show.
You should go, Larry. That sounds like a great. Wait a minute, you're headlining. Forget about it.
You know what's funny, Larry? I mean, Coney Island is not that far away,
No,
but
not.
the amount of people and the people that I know, of course, I know Michael Diamore, I know Bobby Wilson, we know Charles Thomas Jr.'s Drifter. We know Brooklyn Bridge. We met on Jimmy's show. I met him, and of course, Michael Diamore. I mean, I know, and the only person I haven't met a lot of these people, but some I've met and I've been friends with many, many years. So when you go back with somebody that's a doo-wopper or somebody that's a friend, they hold a special place in your heart. And that's the way I feel about it with you, as well as just like you're like a friend of mine. I mean, we've talked so many times, but we've never really met each other.
Well, it's about time we did.
Yeah, I know. We'll work on that, Larry. We'll work on that. But I don't want to hold you up any longer. I just want to ask you if you could say a sweeper for the station and, of course, our show. You're listening to Docg and John T. Presents and on Hamilton Radio. And whenever you want to do it, you can do it. And then we'll say goodbye.
You know, if you send me the information and then I'll do it and send it back to you as a message.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I can
Even
send it
better.
to you. Sure, no problem. Whatever works
Well,
for you, Larry.
are we Facebook friends?
We are Facebook friends. I believe we are.
Okay. So send it to me in a message and then I'll send it back to you in a message.
Okay, that sounds good. That works.
That'll work.
Well, Larry,
Outstanding.
thank you for being here. Any last thoughts, John, to say to our great friend Larry?
Just gonna say once again, folks, it's, you know, it's been so good speaking with Larry Chance of Larry Chance and the Earls, and for you know, all sorts of information, you know, about the group, about stuff you can buy of the group, you know, including their music, which is so good. And all sorts of stuff. It's you can also buy some swag too, you know. It's go to the website. That's what it is. It's Larry Chance and the Earls all together. LarryChanceandtheEarls.com. Learn it, know it, live it, and check it out. You know, you can, again, you can see all about them. You can see where they're going to be. All sorts of stuff. So you can't beat it. We really appreciate, Larry, that you came on the program here today.
Yeah, we do appreciate it, Larry.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And thank you for helping to keep that music alive.
Somebody's got to do it, Larry. And we're glad to do it.
Yeah.
Yes. So these kids might get to hear more than rap crap.
Yeah. I couldn't say that any better. Have a great day, Larry. Thanks for being here again, and we appreciate you and your time. Thank you.
Oh, and please
Thank you, guys.
Geraldo,
Be well.
please thank Geraldo Santana Banana as well. We miss him.
Yes, we do.
Thank you very much.
And anytime, Larry, in the future, if you want to do anything with us, just let me know. I'd be glad to put you on as a radio show host to do whatever you want to do. Okay.
Okay.
I'll talk to you later. Have a
You
good
got
day.
it, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
You got it, he said. You got it.
You got it. No
Okay.
problem.
Thank you, Larry. Have a good day. Thank
I
you.
know I speak Spanish. I speak South Bronx. From the Louisville Project in the Bronx.
God bless you, brother. Have a good day. Thanks.
Good night, guys.
All right.
See
Bye-bye.
you now.
Bye.
Oh,
There he
like I
goes
said,
on
what a
the-
super nice guy, John.
There,
I mean,
there he goes on the Irons in the Morning program. Our Vice President and General Manager, Geraldo Santana Banana. Okay, coming up next, Earl C. Watkins. He's our man. And stay tuned for Rex the Wonder Dog. He's coming soon to Irons in the Morning.
John, you could do all the voices and you could do the Santana Banana guy. And,
Oh, but I'm telling you, back when Don Imus was funny, and okay, he might have been a little, shall we say, chemically enhanced a little bit here and there, but whatever. Back during, I'm going to say from like 77, 78 through about 82, 3 or 4. Oh, he was my guy. I swear it was one of the big reasons I wanted to get into radio, and then to have actually met the guy who did. Geraldo Santana Banana. Are you kidding me? Just anybody who knows me from back then will be like, oh my goodness, she used to do that stuff all the time. Yes, I did. It was funny. It was funny. Oh my goodness. What a great moment. Thank you, Gino, for setting that up. Again,
I'm glad it finally worked.
it was technology, schmechnology. We made it happen, you know. And again, folks, have a look, have a listen. Larry Chance and the Earls.com. It's all one word, Larry Chance and the Earls.com. I'm looking at them right now. They're nantily clad in their bright red jackets and black shirts. I mean, they look sharp as tacks, man. I tell you what, you know, bunch of guys doing their stuff. I don't know if you can hear, but I got some music going in the background and everything. Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh my goodness.
Good stuff, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for being here, John. I appreciate your
No,
time.
thank you, Gino. I mean, always a good decision to come on and see who's who. And hey, who knows who's going to be on next time, but we'll be here. And I hope everybody will be too on Docg and John T Presents.
All right, guys. Bye-bye. Have a good day, guys.
You got it. See ya.